Today we're talking about reinvention, reinventing yourself. Do you get me? Becoming a new version of yourself. Do you get me? Thomas Edison.
I didn't even know that. Ignore me and ignore me.
What's my question? Why do you feel like it's important to reinvent yourself?
I feel like the reason why it's crucial to reinvent yourself is because the Ty you once knew 4 years ago is not the Ty I am today.
What's some of the barriers for reinventing yourself? Because yeah, it's easy to say, yo, reinvent yourself, become a new person.
External validation. And the reason why I throw that in is because I can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I'm a different man now. I'm Ty, as we all know, but I'm Ty who wants to be a Twitch streamer, do you know what I mean? Or I'm reinventing myself for someone who is very big on mindset, whatnot. But sometimes it's hard to reinvent yourself when people are still trying to hold you by the old principles in which they know you and perceive you by.
I feel like that's what the main barrier is.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because you can say to yourself, as you said, it's easy. I'm not that person no more, innit? I've changed. I've got a different mindset, but it's like from the outside world, you're not that guy. You're fake now. Do you get me? I feel like that's one of the barriers as well. People may feel like you're fake because you're a completely different person now. Do you get me?
Yo guys, before we get into the episode, I want to talk to you about our always on sponsor. As you can see here, I've already given it away as Trendsetter London. So boom, what is Trendsetter London? Trendsetter London is a high-end fashion brand doing premium clothing. Like, trust me, this thing premium the Ross, you see it. So make sure you grab a tracksuit, do you know what I mean? Trendsetter London does loads of different items such as tracksuits, as you can see here. They do hats, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts, the whole nine, do you know what I mean? So as you can see on the screen, there's going to be a promo code. Make sure you tap in for a discount. Boom, stay charged up.
The Transfer.
Welcome back to another episode of the Energizer podcast. Today we're here with your boy T.
Alright, and Ty, you already know. Come on.
Do you get me? We're back,
man.
Is this? Episode what?
But
3, 4,
what the numbers
5, 6.
Forget them things there.
Listen, we're here,
Let's run it now.
Yeah, we're here. But listen though, bro. Today we're talking about reinvention, reinventing yourself. Do you get me? Becoming a new version of yourself. Do you get me? Thomas Edison.
I didn't even know that. I think that's the man who made the light bulb. Ignore me and ignore me.
Skip that. But yeah, boy. What do you reckon about? What's my question? Why do you feel like it's important to reinvent yourself? Do you feel like you should reinvent yourself?
I think you should always reinvent yourself. I feel like simply because without the power of reinvention or reinventing yourself, and let's actually double back. I don't want to ask a question with a question, but what is reinventing yourself? What do you mean by that? Be specific, innit? Let the people them know.
Reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, people know you for you. People know you for Ty Velli, innit? Ty Velli, he's like X, Y, and Z, but it comes to a point where you need to change your characteristics.
Change the narrative.
Change the narrative. Change the way people see you. So that's what I mean by
I think that you should definitely reinvent yourself. I feel like I have reinvented myself a few times and I will continue to do that going forward. I feel like the reason why it's crucial to, reinvent yourself is because the man that the Ty you once knew 4 years ago is not the Ty I am today. 100%. Not the Ty you lot are watching right now. Not the Ty that's dropping gems or whatnot. Do you know what I mean? So without me being able to wake up and be like, do you know what? I am this individual now and I like to represent myself with these things, or I'm a man that stands by these principles. Unless I constantly evolve and change those things, your same perception of me is gonna forever remain today when it actually is outdated. Do you know what I mean?
I got a next question for you.
Go on.
What's some of the barriers for reinventing yourself? Because yeah, it's easy to say, yo, reinvent yourself, become a new person.
External validation. And the reason why I throw that in is because I can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I'm a different man now. I'm Ty, as we all know, but I'm Ty who wants to be a Twitch streamer, do you know what I mean? Or I'm reinventing myself for someone who is very big on mindset, whatnot. But sometimes it's hard to reinvent yourself when people are still trying to hold you by the old principles in which they know you and perceive you by. For example, the Ty I was 3 years ago, even the Ty I was at the start of this year is not the Ty I am right now. So sometimes I can wake up tomorrow or today and be like, yeah, I'm gonna reinvent myself, but everyone around me in my circle of influence knows Ty as that person.
Old Ty.
Thank you. So that's why I feel like the barriers could be external validation, because it's easy for you to reinvent yourself, but if externally people aren't accepting that, it's gonna be quite difficult.
I feel like that's what the main barrier is.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because you can say to yourself, as you said, it's easy. I'm not that person no more, and I've changed. I've got a different mindset, but it's like from the outside world, you're not that guy. You're fake now. Do you get me? I feel like that's one of the barriers as well. People may feel like you're fake because you're a completely different person now. Do you get me? And that's why I say you gotta have that fuck it button. That fuck what people think.
Yeah, that fuck it button still alive.
You gotta have that fuck it button. You gotta press that.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because the world evolves, innit? The world's changing constantly. Nothing stays the same. So it's only right that you evolve as well, if that makes sense. Do you get me? So,
yeah, 100% agree, man, with that fuck it button. So would you say that you have reinvented yourself?
Multiple times.
And why do you think, what have you learned each time you reinvent yourself?
Boy, let me think about this one. What have I learned each time that I've reinvented myself? I've learned that it's needed.
Why?
It's just a different phase of my life. If I was the same Tay that I was 5 years ago now, it wouldn't work. Do you get me? The Tay 5 years ago, he weren't reliable. Do you get me? He was a bit mischievous in so many different aspects of my life. Do you get me? And that Tay wouldn't function in what I'm doing right now. Do you get me? So I've just learned that it's needed, man. It's needed. You have different phases of life.
Yeah.
Do you get me? What about you?
I would say, what's the question again? What the reason why you should reinvent yourself?
What did you learn? What did you learn?
What did I learn? Yeah. Every time I quote unquote reinvented myself, something that I learned was that it's really me versus me. And every time I did reinvent myself, it just kind of affirmed to myself why I shouldn't care about what other people think. Because someone could tap in with the Energizer pod right now, and this could be the first video they're watching right now, and their perception of me could be, yeah, Ty's very wise, which I hope you would take from that. Someone who knows me and has known me 3 years ago, their perception of me could be like, oh yeah, Ty, what, that guy who used to just be getting in trouble way back when, or that Ty, do you know what I mean? 100%. So at the end of the day, I just have learned through reinventing myself time and time again that it doesn't matter how people perceive me, as long as all that matters is how I perceive myself. If I say to myself, I am a certain person, like I said before, who stands by these principles, these honors, I stand for this, my non-negotiables are this, you know what I mean? This is the individual I am. Your perception of me doesn't dictate who I am. How you think Ty is not actually who Ty is. That's just the Ty that you think Ty is. Does that make sense?
I feel like it just comes down to elevating your game, innit? Yeah. You know I'm a Nipsey guy. Nipsey said in one of his songs, elevate my game for the 100th time. Do you get me? Let's break that down. 100th time. Do you get me? That means he's gone through this thing multiple times. He's elevated his thing multiple times, and I feel like that's what you need to do, innit? I feel like you're growing or you're dying. There's no sitting still. Do you get me? If you're not evolving and elevating, you're slowly withering away. You're dying and dying and dying and dying. Do you get me? So keep elevating your game in all aspects of your life. Business, your financial game, your relationship game. Elevate that constantly. Do you get me? Be on a constant chase of elevation.
Why should you be on a constant chase of elevation?
Because as I said, bro, if you're not elevating, you're dying, bro. It's not like you're going to stay the same. Nothing in this world stays the same. If you do not water a plant, it's going to die. Do you understand what I mean? If you don't take care of that plant, it's going to die. You and I are like plants, you get me? We need to water, we need sunlight, we need to be taken care of. You need to take care of yourself and make sure you're elevating yourself in it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Do you get me?
No, that makes sense. No, that makes sense still. And even touching back onto that whole point about like reinventing yourself here, that's another form of elevation. It's like shedding the older version of yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Like
so it's
a snake, bro.
Literally like a snake sheds its skin. You're shedding that lower vibrational energy as you've risen to the next stage of your life.
And bro, it's hard. Don't think like when the snake is shedding his skin, it's an easy process for it. Do you get me? It probably hurts to do that. He has to crawl on the floor, slide on whatever he needs to slide on to get that old skin off. Do you get me? And you're gonna go through that same process. Sometimes it's hard for you to fully reinvent yourself. It's not an easy thing to do because naturally you're programmed to live a certain type of way in it, and you gotta teach yourself and unlearn certain things that you've learned throughout your whole childhood, your whole life. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not an easy process, but it's definitely needed still.
Yeah, no, I would agree still. So let's talk about this. Yeah, let's move it to this point. Do you feel like reinventing yourself comes with creating distance between you and your current friends? So say for example, I'll give you a scenario. Yeah, there's an individual, let's call him, I don't know,
Tyson. His name's Tyson.
His name's Tyson. Yeah. So Tyson is an 18-year-old individual living in London. Yeah. Tyson is chilling with the wrong current friendship group, but he has big aspirations of becoming a rapper or a serial entrepreneur. But his circle of influence is very much low vibrational, doing things he shouldn't be doing. He wants to reinvent himself, but he's questioning, does part of my reinvention mean that now I have to cut off all my friends? What would you say to Tyson?
100%. I feel like you know the answer to this question already, innit? You know the answer. You're the influencer the most people you spend the most time around, innit? Yeah. However, I feel like it's not necessarily about cutting those people off, but just making sure that you pick the right friends for the right things, if that makes sense. I've got friends that are cool for the litness, and I've got friends when it comes to business. Do you understand what I mean? So pick your friends wisely. I don't feel like it's about cutting them off and never speaking to them again. However, if they are limiting you, then cut that off. Do you get me? Cut that off. But I don't necessarily feel it's a thing where you gotta completely strike them out of your life, but just know what they're here for, innit? Do you get me?
Strong.
If you got friends that's only good for drinking, litness and parties, don't expect to sit around on the business table and have a conversation with them, if that makes sense. Do you get me?
Strong.
So just know what your friends are for.
And I would even double back, and I do agree with your point, but I would even take it one step further and say that depending on the situations, it may be worth, I wouldn't say cut off your friends, but creating a distance between you and your friends. Because like, let's say back to Tyson, this example with Tyson knows in his mind that he's not living to the fullest of potential. Tyson wants to do better. Tyson wants to change his ways, but the current friends he's chilling with has only got him up to this said point, which is not where he wants to be. So in order for him to go from level 1 to level 3, he can't chill with people who aren't even at level 2. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You have to introduce yourself to new experiences, new lifestyle choices, new ways of thinking that's going to challenge your own, and your friendship group who are not doing who are not in alignment with where you want to go, they're kind of reinforcing that low vibrational energy that you no longer want to be around. So that's where sometimes you do have to create a distance. Not saying, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm going to reinvent myself and be like, yeah, I want to be a plumber, safe Tage, you know what I mean? You're not my bedroom, but I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if you know that you want to elevate to the next level and the people in your circle of influence are not really trying to help you get there, or could be a bit of a hindrance getting there, you're going to have to create some said distance between the both of you.
No, 100%, 100%. Obviously, I feel like people can get kind of confused sometimes where if your friends aren't doing exactly what you're doing, then you have to go a separate way. That's not the case. Do you get me? Because as you said, you can be a plumber, I could be an electrician. Do you get me? 2 different industries. Do you get me? However, if I'm pushing you with your plumbing, keep that friendship there. Do you understand what I mean? I feel like the time where you need to create that gap, create that distance is when your friends are not helping you in any way. They're holding you back. Do you get me? So yeah, man, 100%.
No, facts.
So talking about Tyson, I said Tyson for a reason. I feel like when it comes to reinvention, one of the main people that I feel like have reinvented themselves is Mike Tyson. Have you seen Mike Tyson recently?
Sure. No,
have you seen him?
No.
Alright, cool. Little background story, yeah. Mike Tyson, he came from the trenches, innit? All he knows is hate, which is why he's probably one of the most ferocious fighters out there. Do you get me? Because he came from that background. He's just angry all the time, 24/7, biting off guys' ears and that. Do you get me? Naturally, however,
yeah, I'm an ear like curry bone and mutton.
That's what I'm saying.
Curry got a tad mutton.
Do you get me? Like he's just naturally from a young age just had that inside of him, innit? That anger, like fuck you. It's either you or me, innit? If I lose, that means you win, and I'm not losing, so I've got to win. If that makes sense, you get me? But Mike Tyson has a podcast now as well, and it's like he's touching on topics, and it's like that ain't the Mike Tyson that I knew years before. Do you get me? That's not the Mike Tyson that's biting guys' ears. That's not the Mike Tyson that's out here trying to kill a man in the ring. Not trying to beat a man, trying to kill a man in the ring. Do you understand what I mean? And I feel like he's like the pinnacle of evolving and changing who you are. Do you get me? Because the topics that he touches on now, he talks about self-love, how to care for other people and whatnot. 20 years ago, you wouldn't think Mike Tyson is that type of guy. Do you get me? So yeah, man, I feel like he's had that fuck it button and thought, yo, fuck what people think. People think I'm a bad man, X, Y, and Z. And it's mad because he even said he didn't like that side of himself, innit? Like, he was scared of that side himself. Do you get me? He's scared of that angry Mike Tyson because he knows one thing can go wrong and that's it. I'm flipping this shit. Do you understand what I mean? So, yeah, man, constant elevation, bro. And he's probably one of the best people to look at.
Strong. See, and that just doubles back on the point about why it's good to reinvent yourself, bro. Like, at the end of the day, don't allow yourself to, I said this before, don't allow yourself to be confined by people's perception of you. For example, people think Mike Tyson, boxer, aggressive, fighting, hurting people, anger. Do you know what I mean? But now he's there on a podcast, probably smoking some ganja, puffing chalice, and speaking about love and affection. Do you know what I mean? On a reggae thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine because he's big tune. He reinvented himself, and it's really that real, innit? So that should show to everyone here watching or who is a bit lost in their next step, it's okay to reinvent yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you gotta hold yourself to your own standard, not by the standard that other people set for you.
100. Think about this now, yeah. The Ty who you are today, is he gonna be sustainable enough to operate at a level 10 years down the line?
No.
When you've made it, do you get me?
Yeah.
You will not be able to operate. Do you get me? Because you're gonna be doing so much. Your mind's gonna be at a different place. This Tyler now won't be able to function or operate.
Facts.
Build yourself up.
Facts. And I even feel like, even though we keep saying the same phrase, reinvent, I feel like the word that is best used to encapsulate what we're talking about is evolve, transcend. You know what I mean? You know, these big words, big vocabulary, and other else like thing, because that's what you're really doing. You're evolving yourself. You're evolving your mindset. So like, shout out to Koza. He said it in season 1, and it's like everything that I am doing right now has only led me up to this point, which is where I don't even want to be. So in order for me to do more, for me to be more, I need to do more. Do you know what I mean? So I have to evolve and level up and raise my vibrations. You know what I'm trying to say? To be on a level that's acceptable to get in the things that I want in the next chapter of my life.
100%.
That's what I would say still.
Another question. I've got better questions for you.
Come on, man. Let's run an interview sentence.
Where's the one point in your life where you said you've had to reinvent yourself? Where there's been like a clear, distinctive switch between the old Ty and the new Ty?
Oof. I'd say 2 times. One was in 2020, and I know we spoke about this a couple episodes back. So what's understood ain't got to be explained there. Just going to recap, and just all I'm going to say is that I felt like I was going down the wrong path. I had to reinvent myself to get myself back in alignment with my purpose. Full stop. And then the other time, quite surprising as well, is I'd say last week. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like, as you know, because we've spoken obviously off cam, like the last couple of weeks have been quite stressful for me for numerous reasons. So I've had to literally tell myself that it's time to level up. Everything like I said, shout out cause again, everything that I have done to this point, has got me up to this point, which is not where I'm trying to be. So in order for me to get to the next level, I need to reinvent myself and evolve myself, change my mindset, adapt, do you know what I mean? Raise my vibration. I feel like that's what I've been doing.
Strong.
Literally within the last 10 days.
Strong. So I'm going to take the conversation somewhere else now. Let's go. I saw something about why it's important to sink the ship. Yeah. What does that mean? What, for me saying that, what do you think that means? Why it's important to sink the ship?
Why it's important to sink the ship? I'm getting vibes of like out with the old, in with the new. That's what I would say still.
Cool. Yeah, slightly cool. Obviously everyone has their own interpretations, innit? So I'm gonna tell you a quick story, and you guys a quick story on what sink the ship means, yeah? Cool. So, and I'm not gonna say it word by word, I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown of the story, innit? So boom. Let's just say you're gonna go and invade a country now, yeah? Cool, you got all your soldiers, your army, you got 500 troops with you, yeah? You're gonna go invade a country. You need to take your ships to go over to this country now and take over the land, innit? There's hella people in this land now, do you get me? You got your 500 troops, you got about 5 ships, 100 man on each ship. You're going over there to take over now, yeah? Cool. Now let's say you get to this island and you sink the ship. You sink every single one of those ships now. You know you don't have no support system. You either need to take over this island now or you're dead.
Like sink or swim.
Sink or swim. Literally just that. literally sound like I was flipping sink. Anyway, literally sink or swim, innit?
Well, and I feel
like you need to do that in your life. Like certain things that you're leaning on, like it could be even taking it down like the 9 to 5 route. You want to start this business now, you got this 9 to 5 here. Do you understand what I mean? Fair enough, you need to work to pay for your monthly expenses and whatnot. But you know that every single month I'm making this money. Can you imagine now, if you remove that away and you say, all right, cool, the only way I'm gonna eat now is if I make this business work. Do you understand what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes in life, not necessarily that example, but I feel like sometimes in life you need to remove that support system, innit? So you can just come on a whole different level. It's either I win or I lose, innit? Do you get what I mean?
I love that, man. Let's talk about that. Let's really double down on what that really means. It's like there is no plan B, and I feel like
plan B is to make plan A work. Literally that.
And also another something there is like plan B means that you simply don't believe. Do you know what I mean? Because if you really believe in plan A, what's the second letter of the alphabet for? Do you know what I mean? You don't need a plan B if you're really hell-bent on plan A. Yes, it's good to have a contingency plan. Yes, this is dependent on the situation. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, plan A is me drive a car with 3 tires. Plan, do you know what I mean? Not as dumb, you know what I mean? You don't know what I mean, but I'm just saying, have some hell-bent belief in your ideas. Sink or swim. There's no support system. There is no plan B. It's either it works or that's it. There is no it works, and if it doesn't, I can do that. No, it will work. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If you say it's a for goal, I'm getting there. There is no safety net. Even like, give you another example. A lot of people in this life don't have a safety net when it comes to maybe finances, or don't have mum and dad's protection if something goes wrong. That's it. It's either you do or you don't. You perform or you don't perform. Do you know what I mean?
If I don't grind, I'm starving.
Thank you. Literally that. You know that if you don't actually go out and perform well, you ain't eating. Do you know what I mean? You ain't making that money today. You ain't getting that sale. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's good sometimes to reinvent yourself and also live with the mentality of there is no safety net, there is no plan B. That's it. I'm going after what I want and I'm going to get it done. There is no backup.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Deep with these 500 troops now, they're thinking, I want to get back home to my family and kids.
Yeah.
I've got no way of getting back home unless I take over this island now. So already you're coming with a different perspective. Do you get me?
Yeah.
If those ships are still there, you're thinking, all right, cool. If you don't win, I can jump back on this ship, cut back. Do you get me? But now the ships are gone. There's no other option.
Strong.
Do you get
I'm
me?
jumping on live, man.
Run it.
Running a live. Just quick little ad break, yeah. Tap in with us, man. Serious, yeah. And I'm gonna shamelessly plug. You're here watching us. You're here seeing value from the stuff that we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? We value your opinion. We want you to join the community. In order to join that community, subscribe. It's free. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just two young black brothers really trying to make it. You see it? So subscribe, like, comment, because we do reply. We will engage in anything that you say. And also make sure you're following us on all socials. Energizer Pod, boom. TikTok, Instagram. We're there. Tap in. We're on live now, and then you could even have your say and chime into the episode live as it goes on, man.
Strong.
So back 100%.
To it. Yeah. So another person that I say is really reinvented himself is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Do you get me? He started off as a rapper in the hood, XYZ, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Look at him now, he's a mogul, bro. He owns like a streaming company. Do you get me? When you think of one of the biggest rappers, you think of Jay-Z. So I feel like it's just about constant elevation and growth, man. I keep saying it, I keep on giving examples because I feel like it's important for you to change who you are, develop, evolve. Do you get me?
Let me give you a scenario followed by a question as well. So the scenario is you, Taya, you have been someone who in your past years, like you said, was a bit mischievous, was a bit low vibrational. Now you've had a sudden change. You've decided that you want to reinvent yourself, and now you're like, you know what, I want to be more, so I'm having to do more. So now you've decided to evolve, raise your vibration, and change the direction that your life is going. Question: how do you maintain your decision that you've made when everyone around you is now counting you out? Oh, Tay's fake, Tay switched up. Let's talk about that. How'd you go about that?
I feel like the main thing is about having a burning desire. Do you get me? You can't have a normal way of thinking when it comes to your goals. You need to be so passionate about this. Is like, if I do not get this goal, I'm not going to live a fulfilled life. Do you understand what I mean? And when you think like that, all the opinions from other people, they don't really matter that much. Do you get me? Because, you know, if I don't get to this goal regardless, I'm not going to be happy. So who am I to really sit here and listen to your opinion? You're not going to get me there regardless, if that makes sense. Do you get me?
That does make sense. And what I would say, even doubling back on that, is that in life,
Go on, I'm listening.
in life, you have to be a lone wolf. Do you know what I mean? Shout out Amira, man. Make sure you go back and watch the episode. It was a strong episode. I would say that in life, you need to be a lone wolf. People don't understand your journey or where you're going because people don't share your vision. People are not going to share the same accomplishments as you. So if in that scenario, you've been living life one type of way, hanging with the wrong type of crowd, and now you want to level up. You want to, as we keep saying, you want to do more. As a direct result, you have to be more. I mean, other way around, be more, do more. Yeah, cool. If people are like, oh yeah, let me count out Ty. Ty's a weirdo now. He used to be chilling with us on the block, but now he's not trying to come out. Or he used to shout at me for parties and bullshit. Now he ain't trying to come out. He's a weirdo. People will try and discredit you because they don't understand the direction that your life is going, and that's perfectly fine. Do you know what I mean? You come out the womb alone, you got dead alone as well. Do you get it? It's really that real. Let's just talk the facts now, innit? Yeah. People will be so quick sometimes to write you off because you're not following the same path that they're going, where they're just leading themselves to a dead end. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean to say that you should shame or be like, oh yeah, I'm better than this person. Nah, it's just it can just be a case of where it's like, at the end of the day, that person doesn't share the same vision as you. They're not going to the same destination as you. So it doesn't mean that you now have to be in the same car as them, which is going to lead nowhere. I hope that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
What would you say? Would you agree?
Yeah, as you said, you're born alone, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're born and dead alone. You see it? It's just that real.
Get me? It's that real.
Yeah.
And as I said, like, no one's gonna take you to that end destination. Do you get me? Your friends, your family, your mum, your dad, they're not gonna take you to that end destination. Do you get me? So even when it comes to your parents, like, I know a lot of people our age are in university right now, about to go into university, and you've got these people chatting to you like, go to university, this is the route for you to be successful. Do you understand me? They want nothing but the best for you, but if you know that's not where you're destined to go, then you can't go there. Do you understand? I mean, you got to be selfish sometimes, regardless of who it is.
Facts.
Your closest one.
You have to be selfish and feel no type of way about that. And we're gonna touch in this in an episode to come. But I personally believe, and I've said this before, you have to be selfish to be selfless. I cannot be selfless and give my all to everybody if I have nothing to give for either myself or you. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, imagine if you really cared about other people's opinions, we wouldn't be sitting there right now.
Facts.
Do you get me? Not a lot of people our age are doing this whole podcast thing.
Facts.
So if we really took in what they're saying, Energizer wouldn't exist.
Facts.
Do you get me? So sometimes you just gotta allow all the noise. It's just background noise, and
Facts.
keep it pushing.
Facts. And don't understand. This is my main gem I'm saying today. Don't expect people to see your vision or see where you're going, because their destination is not the same as yours.
And sometimes don't even tell people your destination or your vision. Do you get me? Sometimes
Facts.
keep that to yourself.
Facts.
Because it's easy to be disheartened, especially by someone that you love.
100%. I'm taking it somewhere else now. So now you really got me going, innit? Yeah, I'm ready still. So as you lot know, everyone knows I'm very spiritual. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm always talking about vibrations, whatnot. Yeah. I genuinely believe that each time you reinvent yourself or you evolve yourself, your mindset or whatnot, yeah, it's because the universe is telling you that it's time to get back in alignment with your higher calling. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what I'm doing right now, this chapter of my life is good. Do you know what I mean? And then once I've got or maxed myself out to the most things I can do within this realm, the universe is going to be like, Ty, it's time to you to level up. It's time for you to raise them vibrations.
You're going to start getting hit with different challenges.
Thank you.
Get me? Because you need to evolve, innit?
Thank you. The universe is telling me, nah, can't lie, bro. Like, we're going to a different level now. This is a different difficulty of life, different challenges, etc. So like I said, I need to raise my vibrations to make sure that externally I'm seeing the benefits of being on such a vibration. Do you know what I mean? That's 100%. What I would say still.
The world works mad, bro. Like the world will put you through mad situations that you can never see coming from a mile away. Do you get me? But it's just for you to elevate, for you to go through those situations and become a different person. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
It's that real still.
It's that real.
It's that real, bro. Like I'm gonna double back and say it again. Reinvent yourself. Do you know what I mean? You can be someone who for the past 20 years has been lazy, chilled with the wrong crowd, not really having much goals or aspirations. You can wake up today, you can look at yourself in the mirror today and be like, you know what, from this point on, I'm shedding, like to give the example of the snake, I'm shedding that skin which contains lower vibrational energy, lower vibrational thoughts, not being at my highest purpose, not living in my fullest perspective, living up to my fullest potential, and you can from today be like, nah, I've leveled up, my vibration has risen, I'm now going to be acting in accordance with my purpose, with my goals, to fulfill myself and reach the highest level of what I can actually achieve. 100%. That's what I would say.
And I feel like people may get confused with that though. It's not just as simple as saying, all right, cool, I've elevated. Because you're only fooling yourself, innit? You cannot fool yourself, actually. You can't fool yourself and say that I'm a different person now. Yesterday I was this lazy guy, now today I'm on this thing. Do you get me? Yeah. You can't fool yourself. You have to run up the work, innit? You have to run up the work. Yeah. Otherwise you're only going to be hurting yourself, you know? Yeah,
it's that real. You actually are only hurting yourself, do you know what I mean? Let's talk about this actually, because it's been on my mind now based off like the last 10 minutes, Why do you feel like some people don't live up to their fullest potential? Fullest potential.
Bro, I can't lie. You see on this podcast, we're stuttering words all the time. Me especially is mad. But anyway, flipping.
That man shy.
Loud. He's shy from a little camera. Come on, put some respect on my team. Do you get me?
Yeah, go on.
There's so many different reasons, bro. Yeah. I don't feel like we could even narrow it down why people don't live up to their fullest potential. There's so many different reasons.
Name me a few.
Opinions from others.
Strong. External validation.
Yeah. Self-doubt. Not seeing any examples. Do you get me? Like, you don't see anyone around you that's even made it to that level, so you feel like it's not possible. Do you get me? There's so many different ways that you can just limit yourself and not reach that potential. Yeah. But on the flip side, there's so many other ways that you can reach that potential, innit? Now with social media, you can see what's possible. Do you get me? You can see people at a young age making a killing right now. Do you get me? You can see the examples out there. So I feel like there's no real excuse anymore. Do you get me? I don't feel like there's no real excuse if I'm being rude. Nah, word. Facts. Just quickly add back as well. Everybody who's watching the live right now, drop some questions, man. Do you know what I mean? You're here watching us for a reason. Love for tapping in. Ask your questions. We're answering them live in the episode right now as we go. But boom, I 100% agree with what you're saying, my bro. Like at the end of the day, people don't live up to their fullest potential for a number of different reasons. But I feel like it all stems down to lack of personal self-belief. And I feel like what we spoke about in a prior episode with Amira, it's like if internally you don't see your own self-worth high enough, that's going to trickle out into everything that you do externally. So for example, external validation, you feel like you need to be validated to overcompensate for the fact that you cannot validate yourself inner, do you know what I mean? Internally, you feel like because you don't feel like you're someone who's worthy of doing all these crazy, big, amazing things, you're not going to put yourself in a position to see those amazing things, like you said, like just being in a room with said people, going to visit said vehicles, or trying to actually visualize or literally have a vision of what you want. Do you know what I mean? I feel like everything starts within, and then from within it's the nucleus, and then that transcends outward.
into your external world. That's what I would say still.
Cool. So let's take the conversation somewhere else completely now, yeah?
Yeah.
Different topic. See?
Different topic.
Questions based.
Different topic. Who's that? Hazaifa. Shout out my boy Hazaifa, man. Boom, strong. Anything, man. Talk up now.
But anyway, taking it somewhere else here, bro.
Go on.
What do you think about Andrew Tate?
Oh, we're doing that.
Let's do that, man.
We're doing that.
Let's do that. What do you think?
What do I think about Andrew Tate? Well, this is interesting, isn't it? I can't lie. I feel like Andrew Tate is a genius, bruv. Let's start there, because I feel like Andrew Tate is a intelligent enough individual to be able to trick society in a sense. What I mean by that is like, he is so smart that he's run the whole play on TikTok without having a TikTok account, and he's got everybody's attention because he's saying stuff that sparks debate, and a lot of the stuff he says is very controversial. So he's smart, he's intelligent. Let's put the stuff he speaks about to one side and compartmentalize now. Let's break it down into the strategy of the man and then the opinions and perspective of the man himself. So the opinion of what he says, we'll put in that in this box. We're gonna come back to that. In terms of the strategy from a business standpoint, he is the genius. He's a genius, bro. He's a genius because everyone's talking about him. He's hot topic, bro. He's probably racked up like, I'm pretty sure I watched a video saying that Andrew Tate's racked over 4 billion views this year on TikTok, and the man now even had a blood clot TikTok account. Dookies, what the fuck? How does that even work? Do you know what I mean? I think he's a genius. I can't lie.
One trait that I've realized about Tate though, he's got that thing where he don't mind pushing buttons. Do you get me? Normally, like, if a person pushes a button, all right, I'll push a button now. Let me sit back. He will push a button, see that you're pissed off, and then push a button again. Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's a trait that not a lot of people have, and that's why you get so much reactions, views, responses, because it's like, how dare you? Do you get me? And I feel like with this social media thing, I say it all the time, you can't be on the fence. You need to be that side or that side.
Don't sit on the fence, get joke up in your backside.
Do you get me? And he's so strong on his point. It's like, people do not have a choice but not to listen to what he's saying, if that makes sense. He's a genius, man. He's a marketing genius still, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, he is still definitely a genius. And this is what I'm saying, like, put to one side the stuff he's actually saying, but just from a perspective of how he's going about social media, he's winning. Because, bro, we're in an era now where attention is literally currency. Do you know what I mean? So because everyone's eyeballs are on Andrew Tate, whether it's like, I hate Andrew Tate, I love him, no one cares about your opinion of him. The fact that you're watching and engaging with his content is just putting more money in my man's pocket. So he's smart, bro. Do you know what I mean? He's a genius, bro.
Think it, if you have attention on you, bro, there's no way that you can't really make money, if that makes sense to you.
Strong.
Because you've got so much eyes on you, views on you. You can put out a £1 product. Do you get me? People are gonna buy that. That's why I say attention is definitely currency, man.
Strong, just got a message on the live. Hi from Switzerland. Keep it going, guys. I love listening to you lot. Let's talk about that. I know that's span it in the works. That is nuts, like, bro. People from man, not even have to spell Switzerland, dog. You see it? That's fucking nuts, bro. I swear down, like, that is so crazy to me. Like, people from all over the world are tapping in. Like you said when you was in Jamaica. Talk about that. Do you know what I mean? That's nuts, bro. In Jamaica. Talk about that.
Jamaica. We touched on it last episode, didn't it? So I'm not going to run into it too much. But cut long story short, I was in Jamaica. Yeah, I saw a girl. I'm thinking, like,
right.
She's giving me the eyes.
Yeah, my little brown head.
So I said I was gonna. I approached the girl and then she was like to me, "Yo, I swear you come from the Energizer podcast."
That's
I was
nuts,
like, no
bro.
way. Do you get me? And it's crazy, bro. Deep that Jamaica, Switzerland, and there's so many other countries that tap into the podcast.
People from Germany that I know tapping in as well. That's nuts, bro. Like, and again, I'm not trying to. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. We already tapped into this in a past episode, but I have to just again show love to all you lot, man. Like, what you lot have seen so far is not even 0.5% of where we're going. Do you know what I mean? Or what the potential for the podcast. However, so far, all the love, support, and everything that we've been getting is next to none, man. And I just want to say, really appreciate it still. Like, messages like that might, to other people, might just be any message, but nah, bro, like, that means a lot to me to know that someone's taking me in not even across the road, across the country, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's nuts still. So
you've never been to Switzerland before?
I've never been.
Never been. You don't, as you said, we don't even have to spell the country.
Like that.
That's not what I mean, but there's people in there tapping with us. So yeah, no matter where you are, even if you're from London, like, we appreciate you as well, innit?
Yeah, strong, 100, man. So yeah, back to Mr. Tate. What's your opinion on my man?
Yeah, I feel like he's a genius on all levels. Obviously, I don't agree with some of the things he says, and I feel like sometimes he says certain things to get the reaction of people, innit?
Yeah, but that's what I think.
At the end of the day, it's marketing. Do you understand what I mean? It's marketing. So Yeah, sometimes his opinions are a bit mad, but in terms of what he's done in such a short space of time, because remember, he ain't really been about on the scene for that long. You know what I mean? And then on the back of that, he set up a business now where he can actually benefit, where he's helping people. He's a genius. He's a genius.
Smart, bro. Like I said, attention is currency. So this is exactly how, like, I call it like the online funnel. Just made up that right now. Yeah, the funnel. Yeah, you got different stages of this funnel. Yeah, you got, first thing is that someone comes across your page on social media. So that could be, I don't know, awareness or reach, whatever. Let's not get into the actual terms, but the point I'm trying to say is, someone will hear about Andrew Tate, most likely on TikTok, or someone's gossiping about, oh yeah, did you hear this guy Andrew Tate? He's been on this video, chatting X amount of crud. Yeah, disagree with his point, and because they feel a type of way, they're having an emotional reaction to the things he's saying. They're gonna tap in with his content even more, giving him more engagement, because they're probably going to leave a like or comment, whether that's a hate comment or not. Then as a result, because now his name's getting out of their popularity, he's reaching more people, that reach is converting into sales. So really and truly, who's really winning? He's saying shit that you're in your room pressed about, but he's the one chopping and eating. Do you know what I mean? Off the back of your emotional turmoil.
Some of the things that he says is valid.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that he says is very valid. Do you understand what I mean?
Let's talk about that.
A lot of the things he says are very valid. Obviously, sometimes he goes a bit left with like the females and whatnot, but there's a lot of things, like even talking about personal development. Fucking hell.
Brother, just give up, man. Just give up.
Personal development and leveling up, innit? Fam, today's a write-off.
Yeah.
Today is a write-off. Yeah, personal development. It's like, fam, I lost my opportunity.
Nah, I know what he's going to say, but at the end of the day, he's going to say, like, he says, 100% of the stuff he says, do we agree with everything? No. Yeah. Mirror. Am I a mirror be like, oh yeah, Andrew said this, so I believe? No. However, does some of the stuff that he says and his opinions have substance? Yes. Do I agree? Yes. Do you know what I mean? That's my personal.
Not of everything, but a lot of the things that he says still. 100%. Not of everything,
but a lot of the things, because I feel like he does have value, especially the stuff he says towards men. At the end of the day, like, bro, just get jogging, bro. Just get busy. It's really that real. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean to say that I'm agreeing with his point about depression isn't real, whatnot. No, I'm not saying all that before people try to come at man. I'm not saying that, but he does have some value. That's what I think still.
100%.
So just to summarize, from an opinion perspective, I understand why people have a lot of qualms with Andrew Tate, but from an actual business blueprint, follow Andrew Tate. That's what I would say. 100%. Still, I would even go as far as, you should follow in my man's footsteps. Literally, as you said, last year, who was Andrew Tate? And bearing in mind, he's like a 4-time kickboxer, something world champion, and no one still knew about my man last year. And then all it took was a TikTok strategy to pop off, and now everybody knows about him. And I don't even know about him for his main accolade, which is his martial arts and what he's done in the scene. Really been boxing up a boy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They just know him as the guy who's hopped on a pod and said some things to ruffle some feathers. Smart as well,
because he makes it clear in all of his videos that he's a kickboxing champion. So he's not just this guy that's got mad views. He's been doing this thing outside of that. Do you get me? Like, even a company that he started up, he started like a company where he's like, you know, them live streaming girls. Like, do you get me? He done that. And not a lot of people even think to do that. You understand what I mean? He's playing on the side that there's guys out there that's interested in these females. Let me play on that. Do you get me? How can I find it in on that? How can I become the middleman between the money and these girls? That's exactly what you done.
See, and even doubling back on that, let's really tie that back into the topics we're speaking about at hand today. Reinventing yourself.
Strong.
First question, do you feel like Andrew Tate had to reinvent himself to be the man that he is today? I know my answer is yes. And 2, how do you think he had to reinvent himself? How would he go about that process?
Alright, cool. Even put it like this now, with the cam girls thing, with the whole reinvention, he started off behind the cameras. He's recording these girls, innit? Now look at him, he's in front of the camera. So already there, that's a big transition there, you know. Like,
that's a mental transition.
You get me? He was behind the cams, doing behind the scene work. Now he's at the forefront of it, if that makes sense. You get me? So that's just one. And I'm pretty sure there's so many other ways that he has reinvented himself still.
Facts. And I was even going to say, even with the cameras and that, brother, it's not easy being on camera, you know.
It's not, bro.
Let's forget the content that his cam girls was doing, you know what I mean? Slanging out a young breast and thing. We're not talking about that right now, innit? But I'm just saying, it's not easy being on camera, you know. Brother, whole of season 1, my hand a shit, dog. You know what I mean? I said this enough times, bro. I'm like, fuck, fam, I ain't got a trim today. I'm wearing this ruffled up t-shirt and shit.
Word. I'm sweating too much on the cameras, like
moms, bro. You like that?
So it's not
camera ain't built for everyone, man.
It's not easy, but he definitely reinvented himself.
100, man. That's what I say, and I say, like, you can reinvent yourself in every single aspect of your life. For example, like, even moving away from the external factors, like you said, from moving from one business to the next, whether that's doing it with whatever he was doing. Let's just put the camera side to one side. The fact that he was gonna come out here or come publicly and give his opinion, he would have had to make a mental change. Let's talk about that, because he knew that by putting yourself on social media, as always, there's pros and cons. The cons can be a lot of backlash, which he's now facing at this current moment in time. Yeah, he had to make that switch to say that he had to press that fuck you button. He had to press that fuck you button to say, 100%. I'm gonna speak my truth, ruffle some feathers. I don't give a fuck what no one says to me on the way back.
Bro,
do you know what I mean?
When you really made it and you're making money, those opinions don't mean nothing, you know. Type what you want to type in it. I've just made money from you typing, if that makes sense. Do you get me? So they don't really mean anything. But yeah, man, he's a genius still. I see he's borderline on a Kanye wave.
You think?
Yeah.
You'd go that far?
I'd go that far still.
Kanye?
Yeah.
Genius? Why would you say that?
Because that...
Man said on Kanye's wave.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, that's a big statement, you know, brother.
It is a big statement, because I feel like there's not a lot of people in the world that can really just have that fuck it button. Bro, deep it, he's getting millions of comments on whatnot. You're this guy, you hate women, rare, you're sexist. Not a lot of people can handle that. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Kanye, he faced... You're not a rapper, you're a beats man. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for you to combat that and still push through regardless. Do you get me? So, yeah, man.
And I also feel like when you have a conflicting point of view to the majority of people, or what the majority of people have, you're always going to be facing some backlash. For example, I could turn around and say something that a lot of you guys would disagree with, for example, and face some backlash because now I'm being singled out. And I feel like, again, where it comes back to pressing that fuck you button is because you're prepared to say your truth and not conform to what society believes is the collective truth. That's why I feel like a lot of the stuff that he does say, pardon me, sparks a bit of outrage, because he's speaking from his truth and his opinion rather than just conforming to what people think. Do you know what I mean? He don't really mind to be like, you know what, you lot, everyone who does this thing, you're full of shit. Fuck you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? My man would just say it straight. And I feel like from the lessons we can learn from that is that you need to just take your own opinion of thyself within and not allow other people to dictate your worth, because he could have easily dropped one video and got shook because he's getting bare hate and then lock off the thing. Do you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, here this guy goes again with thyself. He's back with it again.
Brother, listen, yeah.
Thyself. But yeah, no, let's not take away from your point, innit? Let's not derail from the point. Fuck you. I said thyself. Someone told this guy that. Come on, man.
Brother, I'm a well-spoken individual. You get
thyself.
Me? Yeah.
I respect it. So I respect it. But yeah, no, strong. Definitely, man. I feel like what he's been able to do in such a short space of time, he's a genius.
Yeah.
No one can really speak to him in terms of a business wave when it comes to his opinions, definitely. And obviously, I don't really feel like he has those opinions. He's saying that because he knows he can trigger an emotion.
I agree still.
Do you get me? So,
I agree.
Yeah.
And even doubling back on that, yeah, a lot of like my female friends, whatever, will come to me and be like, oh yeah, how do you watch Andrew Tate? Oh yeah, he's this, that and the third and all this, yeah. But I definitely agree, like you said, I don't think that everything he says he 100% lives by every single point. I just think that he says these things with confidence because he knows it's going to stem a reaction that's going to benefit him. Do you know what I mean? And I say that again. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment below. Let me know if I'm wrong. In it, Ty, you're chatting shit. Andrew definitely does live by it. I personally don't believe that he lives by every single thing he said on the internet or the opinions he gives on the internet. I don't think that's how he's lived his life 100% of the time. But I just think that he's purposely saying that to press buttons, push people's buttons, like you said, because he knows it's going to give him a reaction, which is you lot engaging, people engaging, which is going to just pay him on the back end. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. Still
100%. So yeah, man, I reckon that's enough about Andrew Tate and what he's doing. What's the gem you're going to leave them on the way out, my boy?
Strong. What is one gem that I would leave them with? I would just say you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like I've reinvented myself several times over the last years, if not months, and I'm going to continue to do so. So don't think that, oh yeah, because my life is in this direction, I can't reinvent myself per se, evolve, accelerate and transcend to a different vibration, and then yeah, man, live life on the back of that. That's what I would say still.
Strong.
What about you?
On the way out, I'll just say, in life, you're either evolving or you're dying, man. Literally that. You're either evolving or you're dying. So if you're not progressing in life, you're slowly getting worse and worse and worse by the day, innit? So
Facts.
figure out what it is in your life, what area in your life you want to evolve in, and just stay focused on that. Do not allow outside distractions to come in and throw you off either. Do not feel bad for separating from some friends, innit? Because what needs to be done needs to be done, innit, at the end of the day. So yeah, man, I'll just say evolve, continue on the journey, and yeah, you'll see.
Strong.